you eat?
Whatever energy, whatever time I have left, I want to spend with Lorenzo.
You will not have to leave his bedside. I will go to the library. I make copies for you. I bring it home for you.
Augusto, we are on our second mortgage. You can't afford not to go to work.
Michaela, I will work. I fit it in somehow. Michaela, this is important. I need you.
Nick Nolte and Susan Sarandon star in a film about a true story, about a couple named the Adones who fight for the life and the health of their son Lorenzo. It's an heroic and a heartwarming story, if at times very troubling to watch. A challenge for actors, but it also has a message far beyond the movie screens into the real world of medicine, which may benefit many sufferers of many different diseases. I met with Nolte and Sarandon in Los Angeles and asked them what interested them the most, the project or the challenge.
What was the first
Well, artists can be interested in things that are about something too. I don't think you separate that. When I first heard about it 5 years before George even got involved, it was clear to me that the parallel with AIDS research was really important. So I thought, well, how fabulous to be able to get into this whole subject of the AMA and you know, the tyranny of pharmaceuticals and everything without having to deal with people who are homophobic, because here, you know, and it's a subject of empowerment, which always interests me. Take it, Nick.
Yeah. I read the script, really? The story. I didn't really know anything in advance, and then the next day, George Miller was I was shooting Cape Fear. He showed up the next morning right after I'd read it and said, okay, what do you think? And I told him what I think, and then he sat down and went through the whole story of the Adonis, the whole story of the science, the whole thing. And then he said, you better go to Washington. And then I went up and met Augusto.
When you met him and realized now you're going to be dealing with somebody, in his case, for example, there's some technical things you had to consider, the accent and things like that. Was that a challenge, or was that...
Well, it was a challenge, you know. There's always the thought, well, you know, here you're going to see an Italian accent coming out. It's going to set the audience back a while. You know, the actor thinks, well, maybe you don't have to do that. But, you know, it's the type of story. It's a true story. You alter the fact that he is an Italian, and you corrupt the truth. So we had to do it.
Ultimately, I suppose it's a kind of story that we all care about. But her character in particular, I thought, because she seemed to be the strength, even when he was maybe at the end of his rope, she seemed to be the grounding. Do you think
what's interesting about them is that they work together. You know, it's true, she's fiercer and she's uncompromising and she has no social graces, but you know, that isn't always the most productive thing, and I can relate to that. Yeah, the yin and yang thing happening here. Augusto was conceptual, and he's kind of more socially charming, and he's on the outside of the world, and it's what made it work, the two of them together.
As we go away from you and into the clips that end this, there's going to be an 800 number on the screen, and that's going to be 1-800-8-MILE. And
please dial the number.
With Nick Nolte and Susan Sarandon in Hollywood, I'm Patrick Stoner. Thank you.
But I will have nothing to do with this oil.
We are not asking, Doctor, for your anguish or your applause. We are asking merely for a little courage.
Okay.